We are in Shar Bitachon, chapter 2. Okay, so we were saying last time how a person has to trust in Hashem because he has so many qualities that are worthy of trusting in him. For example, we said a few examples is that Hashem is the ultimate source of compassion. Hashem knows all the details of your life and knows exactly what you need more than you know what you need. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, once he decides something, nobody could stop him, and he's going to get it done. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is ultimately dedicated to you your whole life. Hashem, who took care of you when you were a baby, and he took care of you when you grew up, he will take care of you tomorrow as well. So the God who fed you yesterday, he will also feed you today. So therefore, these are some of the reasons why we should have trust in Hashem more than any other physical being in this world that people usually trust. I don't know, their boss, they trust their parents, they trust their friends. We should trust. There's all these reasons to trust the HaKadosh Baruch Hu even more. And he says, and especially when a person has all these things together, all these 7 qualities together, of course, the person should go and trust the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says what? He says, how do we know that Hashem is merciful? Shumirachem briotav, shekmosh katuv rahum hanun Hashem. It says in Tehillim, Hashem is merciful and gracious is Hashem. As it says, V'ani la'achus an Nineveh ayir gedolah. We said that Hashem said to Prophet Yonah, shall not take pity on Nineveh, the great city. We know that Nineveh was sinful, so Hashem sent Jonah to go and tell them they're going to get destroyed. And Yonah complained that he didn't want to go do it. Hashem says, what do you mean? You don't think I could have mercy on them? If you go and speak to them, they might make teshuvah, and if they make teshuvah, I won't destroy them. Why wouldn't you go? Why won't you give them a chance? So you see that even though they were so wicked, Hashem was willing to have compassion on them and to rescind his decree. So a person thinks, oh, why should I pray? Why should I have trust in Hashem? Maybe Hashem's not going to pull through for me. I don't deserve it. Why? If you make teshuvah, maybe Hashem will be compassionate and He will make a miracle for you. Why? Why are you selling yourself out? Selling yourself so short? This person has to know Hashem has mercy. Obviously, a person cannot sin on purpose and say, I'll just do teshuvah later. I'll sin and Hashem will have compassion on me. He won't punish me. No, that causes Hashem's wrath specifically. When a person sinned, he sinned, and later afterwards he decided to do teshuvah. No, that Hashem accepts. We also know that Hashem never ignores us, turns a blind eye. He doesn't turn a blind eye. We say every day in Arvit, behold, he neither slumbers nor sleeps, the guardian of Israel. Which means that Hashem always is paying attention to us. How could Hashem pay attention to all these billions of people in the world and everything that's going on in the world? That all the laws of nature should be in place, that what this person's decision and action affects this person, and therefore he recalculates everything, and everything should go smoothly, and that this guy shouldn't bump into this guy unless it was ordained from Shamayim that it should be. All these calculations, Hashem is on top of these things. It's like you see those guys with the Bloomberg machines, right? All those screens, watching all the stocks. Like how does this guy pay attention to 8 screens at once? But he does it. He gets tricked. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, Kivyachol, let's say, 1,000 or 1,000,000 screens open. Everybody's little life is open in front of him, and he micromanages everything. It's above our seichel, but he does it. We know Hashem is wise, and he's the most insight into our life. He knows where we need the best. No one can stop him when he wants to carry out his wishes. As it says, Chacham levav ve'amitz koach mi yikshe elav v'yishlam. It says in Eov, he's wise of heart, immensely strong. Whoever stubbornly opposed him and remained whole. What, you think that a person could think, if Hashem doesn't want this guy if Hashem wants this guy to be wealthy, I could stop Hashem. I could make it this guy will be poor. I won't let him become wealthy. And there's no such thing. Hashem wants somebody to be successful. You'll be successful no matter what anybody says. Right? Imagine a guy has an enemy. Right, Neria? A guy has an enemy. He says, listen to me. You moved into this part of the town. You have the same business as me. I will never let you be successful. You won't make any money in this city. So you guys has to be scared of him. You guys has to start muscling him out. No, what does he do? He says, Hashem will provide. Well, it's up to Hashem. You think you could stop Hashem? If Hashem wants me to have, you could take it away? What can you do? Hashem can make anything happen and nobody can stop him. So therefore, you don't have to be nervous from this guy. As it says, Lecha Hashem agdula ve'agevura tiferet netzach ve'ahod. Hashem has strength, and He's the one who gives strength to everybody. But you think this wealthy guy who's being mean to you, you think he has strength? Hashem only gives him the strength that He wants him to have. Hashem could take it away in a second, right? What was the story with the evil king? that told the prophet he wanted to kill the prophet. He stuck his hand out. In that second that he stuck his hand out, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it that he wasn't able to move his hand. His hand froze. So he thought, you see, I was able to do whatever I want. I'm the king. Hashem said, no, now I'll take away your arm. Now you can't move your arm. It's frozen. Go move now. So you see that in any second, Hashem can stop anybody because He is the source of all living things, of all life, of all strength. Hashem, His boundless power, is stated in Zephaniah. Hashem, your God, is in your midst, the mighty one who will save. Okay, number 5. How do we know Hashem watches over us from the second we're born all the way to the end of our life? As it says, Shneimar, in Halohu avicha kanecha, hu osecha v'yechonenecha. It says in Ha'azinu, Parshat Ha'azinu, is He not your father, your master? Has He not created you and formed you? Alayich nismachti mi beten me'eimi atakozi. It says in Tehillim, I relied on you from the womb. You withdrew me from the innards of my mother. King David says to Hashem, Hashem, you took care of me all my life. From the second I came out of the womb, I was already in the womb, you already taken care of me. So you see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He watches over a person every second of his life. As it says, Kechelev teticheni kigvina tikpaeni. As it says, you poured me out like milk, you curdled me like cheese. Right? How does a person in the womb? He's like fluids in the beginning, and he starts forming into cheese, into a person in the womb. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even from then, there's a lot of testing you have to do when the baby's in the womb to make sure he formed properly. And who's in charge of all that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's say, God forbid, they say, we don't know if the child might have this issue. So people start davening, Hashem, please make it that the child is healthy, that he shouldn't have these birth defects, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is involved even from then. I don't know how much more so an entire person's life. We'll do one more. And he says, one's benefit and one's harm is not under the control of man, rather under the control of Hashem. Mi ze'amar v'tehi amonai v'lo tziva mipi elyon lo tetzeh ra'ad datov. It says in Eicha, who decreed, which decree was ever fulfilled if Hashem did not ordain it? Is it not from the mouth of Hashem that misfortune and good emanates? A person could think, if I do this, and I do this hustle and that hustle, and I make for myself this name, and I'll be successful, everything is on my shoulders, my ishtadut, destiny's in my hand. Well, you have to realize there's no success and there's no decree can be fulfilled unless Hashem approves it. So you really need Hashem's approval. No one could do anything. You can't rely on yourself only. As it says, it says the people is grass, meaning that when a person withers away and dies, he has no real control over anything. And Hashem can do that also while a person's alive. So that person has to remember that all these things are reasons and proofs that we have to go and rely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu and not rely on anybody else. And what do we say when you do that? Baruch HaGiver, Sheyiftach ba'Hashem, Hashem yiftach. When you go and rely on Hashem, Hashem gives you extra siyata d'shmaya. You get a special extra boost of attention from Hashem. When you rely on yourself, so then you lose that extra attention. That's why there's a big segula to say, Eno milvado, right? When you're in a time of need, many people say you should say Eno milvado. There's no one besides for God. What does that help? You already know this. No. Since I'm reinforcing my idea that Eno milvado, I look like I'm in the hands of this person that's going to hurt me. I look like I'm in a situation that laws of nature are going to affect me. But I remind myself that Hashem's in charge of everything. That's a segula to give you extra siyata d'shmaya. You should be able to get a miracle. But if a person wouldn't say this, so maybe you would be subject to the regular decree that Hashem wants you to go through. But when you have this high level of emunah, so now you get a higher level of contact from Hashem. Baruch